would like our honored chief guest, Nishan Canagarajah. Professor Nishan Canagarajah is a distinguished academic and leader in higher education, renowned for his contribution to engineering and digital technologies. With a background in signal processing and machine learning, he has held a key leadership role in academia, driving innovations and research excellence. Currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Leicester, Professor Canagarajah has been instrumental in shaping institutional strategy, fostering diversity, and enhancing student experiences. His expertise and leadership continue to make a significant impact in the academic and research community. Can we please, with a big hand of applause, welcome our chief honor guest.
நன்றி வணக்கம் என்னையும் என் மனைவி தவிதாவையும் பிரதம விருந்தினராக இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு அழைத்து கௌரவித்ததுக்கு மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகள். நான் கல்யாணம் முடிக்க முதல் எனக்கு ஞானசாரியார் பள்ளிக்கூடத்தை பற்றி ஒன்றும் தெரியாது. என் மனைவி நீங்கள் கேட்ட மாதிரி ஞானசாரியார் பழைய மாணவி. அப்போ கல்யாணம் முடித்த பிறகு நாங்கள் முதல் தரம் கரவெட்டிக்கு போகும்போது அவள் எனக்கு அந்த பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கு கொண்டு எல்லாத்தையும் காட்டினான். அவள் காட்டினது மாத்திரமில்லை, இந்த நாட்டில் எத்தனையோ பேர் நல்ல பதவிகளில் இருக்கிறதுக்கு காரணம் ஞானசாரியார் பள்ளிக்கூடம். நீங்கள் செய்கிற நல்ல காரியங்கள் அவ்வளவும் ஞானசாரியார் காலத்துக்கு படிப்பித்த ஆசிரியர்களுக்கும் அந்த பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கும் மிக்க பெருமையை கொடுக்கின்றது. தேங்க்யூ. நான் இதுவரையிலே ஒரு 4-5 கலை விழாக்களுக்கு பிரதம விருந்தினராக போயிருக்கின்றேன். ஆனால் ஒரு சந்தேகம் இல்லாமல் ஞானசாரியாரின் கலை விரைவு தான் இதுவரையிலும் மிகத்தரமானது என்று சொல்லுவேன். நீங்கள் போட்ட நிகழ்ச்சிகள் எல்லாம் எல்லா வயதினருக்கும் சாதகமாக போட்டிருந்தீர்கள். அது மிகவும் முக்கியம். எல்லாரும் இந்த விழா தங்களுக்கு என்று சேர்ந்திருக்கிறது மிக முக்கியம். என்னை இங்கே அழைக்கும் போது அவர்கள் கேட்டார்கள், ஏதாவது உங்களை பற்றி என்னென்ன இந்த மேல் பதவிக்கு வந்தீங்கள் என்றதை பற்றி நீங்கள் மற்றவர்களுக்கு சொல்லுங்கொண்டு என்னை கேட்டிருந்தார்கள். என்னை பற்றி கதைக்கிறது எனக்கு அவ்வளோ விருப்பமில்லை. ஆனால் இந்த தருணத்தில் நான் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையிலே நான் படித்த பாடங்களை உங்களோட கலந்து சொல்ல விரும்புகின்றேன். மிச்ச பேச்சை நான் ஆங்கிலத்தில் சொன்னால் இந்த பேச்சு கொஞ்சம் வெளியிட முடியும். So the first thing, and also சில பேருக்கு நான் ஆங்கிலத்தில் கதைக்கிறது கூட விளங்கக்கூடும். So first thing I wanted to say, I'm really delighted to be here as your chief guest. It's an honor to be here, because it's an honor not because being invited as a chief guest, but to attend as a guest of honor in the school where my wife studied. And it's not just her. There are so many other people in her family studied in Gnanasariyar school. Siblings, aunties were teachers, her grandma was a teacher. So there's a lot of history between her family and Gnanasariyar. So it's incredibly privileged to be able to be here to share this occasion. And as I said in Tamil, it's great to see that you have put on a really fantastic show, that you have made sure that you honor our traditions, but also pay tribute to your old school. And I think it is very important. I know this is your 25th anniversary. This wouldn't happen without the hard work of so many people for the past 25 years. Their time, their commitment, their energy, their funding. That's what has enabled this to continue for 25 years. So I think we should pay tribute to all those who made this possible over many years for this old school or old pupils association to continue and be successful. So well done to everybody who's made this possible. The second thing I would say is that it is absolutely important that we honor our tradition and remember our old school. Because our school, I studied in Sri Lanka, Jaffnala, until I came to England. I did all my education. And it is important that we give this opportunity to other people whenever we can. Just like we have been lucky to get this opportunity and do well in life, it is important we create those opportunities for the next generation. So I'm delighted to hear that today and in many years, you've been supporting the school in every way possible. So that opportunity is given for many other students to benefit from that education. The other thing that is important for these events like this is to remember our tradition. If we don't, in years to come, our tradition will die. So it is absolutely important that we continue to have these events so the younger generation who don't live in Sri Lanka, who are born and living here, don't forget our tradition, don't forget our culture, don't forget our language, don't forget the values that we have in our society. So I think it is great that you're doing it, and I hope it'll continue for many more years. Now, for those who are wondering, how did I end up in this position? It's very hard. Every person is unique. And it's not easy to say this is the recipe for success. But having said that, I, in my job, and many people like me who are here in this audience, who are holding very many senior positions will know, there are certain things you look for in life. So the first thing that you have to do is to be good at what you do. You need to have something that is good about you. So in our culture, we value education. Education is very important because education opens many doors. Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. So it is important that we use education to create opportunities for us, but also to see how we can make a difference through education. So it is important that we honor, and that is why, although many of the people come from Sri Lanka, never lived here like our children, but when they come here, they're still able to make a good life out of this opportunity, holding senior position. Why? Because they value education. One of the other reasons that we do well in this country and around the world, and you all have relatives or friends who studied with you, holding very successful jobs around the world. And the other reason for that is our values in our traditions. We respect people. We respect our elders. We value family ties. That is absolutely important. That allows you to fit into societies and make a difference. So those are some of the attributes that make us successful even when we come to a foreign land. But the other thing that I've also learned in my job, and also in the jobs that I've done over many years, is that education alone is not enough. If you're in business, they will often use the word USP. What is your unique selling point? What is different about you? So that is why I'm really pleased that today you put on so many events to give the younger generation the opportunity to come and perform. That is absolutely important. Because when you grow in life, you will get many opportunities where you need to perform in front of people, give a speech, or talk in a meeting. All these things, if you're frightened, it's very hard. But when you're young age, if you create these opportunities, when they're older, they're not frightened to face people and make a speech or to network with other people. So it's important that we create these opportunities. So I applaud all the parents who encouraged your children to come and perform tonight. And also all those who haven't done it, please grasp these opportunities. It'll make you a better person. It'll offer you something that'll make you different when you leave, go and work and try to achieve a lot in your life. So the unique selling point is very different for everybody. Some people will be musical, some people will prefer to debate or dance or perform in different ways. But it's important to find what makes you happy. Make sure that you're good at something that makes you happy. Even if you don't succeed, at least you're doing something you enjoy. So it is important to kind of develop what is special about you as an individual. The other thing that I would say is that one of the reasons I've been able to get to this position, and many people like me who end up in this position, is they're very good at networking. It is important to meet different people and learn about them, but also give them an opportunity to learn about you. Because when you work in large organizations, you're dealing with different types of people. Everybody is different. You need to be able to adapt and work with different people and connect with them. And for me, that happened because of events like this. So when I was at school, I was doing many extracurricular activities. I did music, I did drama, I did sports. So when I came here to this country, although I didn't speak much English, although I was at a culture shock, I didn't understand the English language. Like when I went to the lectures, I struggled to understand the accent. But what I was able to do, because I did sports and got involved in other activities, I made a lot of friends in my university very early on. That's what allowed me to settle. Otherwise, I would have struggled at that age, at 19, when I came here to study in this country at a university, I would have struggled. But because I did all the sports and other activities, I was able to make friends very quickly. Even today, some of them are still my friends. So that is why doing all these extracurricular activities helps you. When you go to a new environment, you connect with people. So it is important to network, and I think it is important that you grasp every opportunity. Some people will make it challenging for you, but when you're running a big organization, those are the people you have to learn to deal with as well. So I encourage everybody to see how you can network and get involved in these kinds of activities. And my final point is that other key attribute is team working. You have to work in teams. And when you work in teams, again, you need to contribute, but also realize you don't have to dominate all the time. It's about how do you find your place in a team. And I say this in university, and some of you might have. It's great to see University of Leicester students, some of in the audience. But one of the things I say when I talk to the students when they come to university is that it is important that you develop that team working spirit. If you imagine, just take a big company like Apple or Google. If they are hiring somebody, and if they have about 100 people working in the team, and they have one vacancy, who do they want to appoint? They want to appoint somebody who can work with the other 99 people. They don't want the person who is going to come and be disruptive. However good you are, if you're going to unsettle the team, you're not going to get the job. So when we interview, like every week I interview people for a job, one of the things that we mark in the criteria is, are they going to be a good team player? We will, if they are not a good team player, they may score many high points in other areas, but that will bring them down in our assessment of that candidate. So it is important to learn to teamwork, be a good team player, and be part of a team. Again, doing these kinds of activities, sports or music, or doing these activities gives you that skill to be a good team player. And my final point is that one of the things that I learned in life is you don't get far in life if you don't take risks. There are a lot of risks I took in my life. So for example, I'll give you one story. When I was at University of Bristol, where I was a professor, there was a leadership position became available. And it was a risky job because the person who did it before me said, this is a hard job, I can't do this, and they left. And so nobody wanted to take on that job because it was a risky job. If it goes wrong, you will be criticized. So everybody was scared of doing that job. And I said, no, I will do it. But everybody else, some of my colleagues, some of the other professors said, Nishan, don't do this. If you do badly, it'll affect your career for the rest of your life. This is a big risk you're taking. But I said, it's okay, but if I do well, I'll go far in life. And I took on the job and made a massive difference. And that is one of the reasons I'm standing in front of you today as Vice Chancellor. So in life, if you're scared of taking risks, you will not see what you're capable of. So sometimes, push yourself a bit. It doesn't matter. Even if you fail, you have learned something new. So it is important to grasp the opportunities, stretch yourself, and when you do well, everybody will notice. After that job that I led, I was asked to take on bigger jobs. I became the Dean of Engineering, and then a Deputy Vice Chancellor. These are the things that happen because you're willing to take a risk, and people realize that you're not scared to take a risk. You will take something on and make a difference. So my advice to the younger people here and thinking about your next step in life, be a good team player, network, sometimes take a risk, and important in everything is enjoy life. Thank you very much.